It started as a love story between two women who had both seen the worst life had to offer. One had just returned from prison, trying to stay clean. The other had survived poverty, childhood beatings, and a world that never gave her a chance. But behind their promises of starting fresh, there was something darker: fights, bruises, police calls, and a deep, dangerous fear that love might turn lethal. On a cold December afternoon, one of them walked into a police station asking for protection. Minutes later, she was gunned down in the parking lot. The shooter? Wanda Jean Allen. What followed was more than a murder trial. It was a test of justice, mental health, race, sexuality, and mercy. And at the center of it all stood a woman the state would one day execute, while the world watched and asked. But the truth behind that deadly shooting was far from simple. To some, she was just another violent offender, a lesbian killer, cold and calculating, who waited outside a police station with a loaded gun and murder on her mind. Some said she has killed before. She is a killer. Brain damage or not, she is a bloody killer. But to others, Wanda Jean Allen was a victim in her own right, a mentally impaired woman, shaped by trauma, brain damage, and an abusive partner who had threatened and beaten her before. They said she didn't deserve the death penalty. Some said she didn't even deserve prison. Wanda's defenders argued it was self-defense, that Gloria Jean Leathers had struck first, and Wanda feared for her life. They pointed to the fact that Gloria had a long record of violence herself, that Wanda had already been assaulted multiple times by her, that she had nowhere to run and no one to protect her, even when she begged for help. And then came the part that shook people to their core. Wanda Jean Allen had a documented brain injury caused by abuse, neglect, and childhood trauma. Her IQ was low, her decision-making deeply impaired. But none of that was shared with the jury who decided her fate. Instead of medical reports, they saw only the crime. Instead of compassion, they saw a target. And in the end, the state of Oklahoma said she had to die. But did they get it right? Did Wanda Jean Allen deserve execution? Or did the system fail her at every turn? Stay with us as we dissect the life, the crime, and the execution of Oklahoma's first black woman to be put to death. A case soaked in controversy, buried truths, and unanswered questions. If stories like this matter to you, stories that dig deeper into the human side of true crime, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment below. We want to know what you think. Was Wanda Jean Allen a cold-blooded killer or a broken soul failed by justice? Below is an interview she had before being executed. She asked for clemency. It was denied. Kindly watch and give your judgment.
And I'll try and be alert to what's going on, because obviously I don't want her to appear coached. I don't have a hidden agenda here.
I understand.
But just let Wanda finish her sentence first, and then I'll give plenty of time for you guys, and I will try and be alert. I got to the
All right. Well, I just wanted you to know where we were coming from.
That's not a problem.
You know, on that. Okay, thanks. What was your name again?
I'm Gina.
Gina?
Gina. G-I-N-A.
Gina. All right. So, okay.
Okay. Let me know when you're good, Walt. Hey, Gene.
Okay.
This is Walt.
Hi, Walt.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And the guy with the mic was Clark. So I like one-syllable names. We're good on this.
Okay.
All right. Are you comfortable? I know you don't have a lot of leg room.
Yep, this is fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
I can turn around. Is that better for you?
No, it's what's good for you.
Did I mess me up?
For you.
That's okay.
Wanda, tell me describe you. How do you describe yourself to others?
Loving, compassionate, thoughtful, thinking of others as before I think of myself. Very family oriented.
What has been the good, if any, that you see that has come out of all of this for you?
Well, I've been baptized since I've been here. I give my life over to Christ. A lot of good things that came out of it. I've been blessed with my family, with their health and strength. And so this has been a structured environment for me where I can get the help I need since I've been here. So So that's been really good for me.
Has your family grown stronger because of this?
Their faith has kept them strong throughout this.
People talk about finding faith in prison. Is that the only choice you have when you're in prison, to find faith, or can you actually go through this and not have faith?
I had faith before I got in prison. My faith was strong as I got in here. But sometimes he allows us to go through certain situations and trials so we can have us to start trusting more in him and let him do things for us in our lives.
When you pray, what do you pray for?
First, forgiveness. I have to be able to forgive others in order to be forgiven, and for him to guide and direct my life.
Some would say that, how could God let you end up here?
How can he what?
How could God let you be here in this position?
Sometimes he allows situations, circumstances in our lives to happen so he can break us of ourselves and we be blessings to other people as well.
Do you believe that God can save you?
Yes. He has the last say so in every situation. That's where my trust is, where my confidence are. It's been there, regardless of what I have been through.
What verses give you strength and guidance through this?
I can use Isaiah 59:1. Behold, the Lord's hands is not short that he cannot save, nor his ear is heavy that he cannot hear.
And a hymn, is there a hymn?
I like Wanda Adams, Open Up My Heart. And we just have to talk to him. He's always listening. He never slumbers nor sleep.
You have some very good moral support.
Right.
Tell me about your support group. Who is here to help you? Not physically here, but who do you hear from? Who writes? Who do you know is out here praying for you?
The community, as well as inmates, the staff is here. My family, their friends, and other people's friends that I don't even know. So this situation I have been in right here for 12 years has brought a lot of people together.
How tough was it to go to the parole board 2 weeks ago? You looked scared to me.
It was hard. It was more harder for me to see the people that love me go through what I was going through. That's more harder than anything. And the victim's family, you know, it's been 12 years and they're still suffering. I've been living that day for 12 years, every day. So it's not been forgotten. I think about every day I have a birthday that the victim's daughter should have been here with them today for the holidays. Both our families are missing us as well.
During part of the clemency hearing, I remember that your voice dropped and you were just barely speaking at a whisper. What did that take from in here to go before that board?
It took everything in me, but I knew I had already prayed before I went, and I asked him to give me the strength I need to go through that. It's hard when you're sitting there seeing the victim's family and their loss, and that's hard in itself, and then my family being there. This is a tragedy for both families. There's no winners here. So both families is grieving at the same time. Even though I'm still here with my family, I haven't been able to have no contact or physical contact with them in 12 years. All my visits has been non-contact. And to see the other family over there, which I love and miss them as well, because they was like part of my family too. Our families are very close. And I had a visit with the mother, the victim's mother. We visited for several hours, so it was hard.
She forgave you.
She did.
Tell me about that moment.
We came in and we spent several hours visiting. We had prayer together, and she said that she'd forgiven me, and she didn't like what I done, but she had forgiven me because she's a Christian woman, and I expressed how sorry I was for that tragic day and how sorry I was for taking her daughter's life. And I let her know that I was glad that the visit had taken place, that it was the best visit I had in 12 years.
You know, there are a lot of people, possibly not in Oklahoma, but outside of this area and from Europe, who look at what the state of Oklahoma is planning to do to you and are horrified.
But see, they're on the outside looking in. I'm on the inside looking out. I know what's going on in the inside. And it's a struggle for everybody right now. I've been here for 12 years. The staff members, the inmates, they're just like my family, and everybody's hard for them right now, knowing that it could come to that, but everybody's keeping their faith. And by them knowing that they have came around me, they have no fear of me being in general population, because they open my door, the staff members open my door, and they don't restrain me. I never hurt any inmates since I've been here. I've been in general population before, and it's never hurt anyone. And the people's out there, they're only going what the media tell them or what they hear. I have never hurt anyone since I've been in this correctional facility in 12 years. And even when I've been in general population before, I never hurt anyone. And they have no fear of me being in general population. They want them to spare my life and let me remain in the Department of Correction the rest of my life.
You know, I think some of the worries, people were thinking that you were asking to be set free. What are you asking? What do you expect? What would you like?
I'm not asking them to release me. I'm asking them to let me spend the rest of my life in Department of Correction. Where the staff members, I've been having access to them for 12 years. They come into my room and they don't even restrain me. They have no fear of their other inmates or their staff members ever been hurt. I have exercised with other inmates. They're not even death row inmates. I'm the only death row inmate has exercised with other inmates in administrative segregation area. So that's saying that they have no fear of me being in their general population.
What do you remember about your trial? Do you think you got a fair trial?
No, I did not get a fair trial. I didn't get fair representation. Even the attorney was at my clemency hearing, tried to, be there for the board in case the board had any questions, to let them know that he couldn't defend me properly because the district attorney wouldn't even allow us to have an investigator at the time so he can put on evidence to mitigate my case. I didn't even have the information that he has now, he's aware of now, that could have saved my life.
Your attorney told me about the mitigating factors
Right.
that were not allowed or that were not known about.
Correct.
During your trial.
Correct.
What did your attorney not know about you?
He didn't know. He didn't have the background information of the doctor I had seen in '75 that had information that I was brain damaged. I had 2 accidents in my life that left me with memory loss and brain damage. Once when I was a younger child, I got struck by a truck and lost unconsciousness, was rendered unconscious for a length of time where I lost memory then. Then another time in my teen years, I was stabbed in the temple and I lost consciousness and lost memory again. So I lost memory twice in my lifetime.
What help have you gotten?
Since I've been here in this structured environment, the help that I couldn't seek in the area inside the fence, it had helped me a lot because I'm in a structured area where I can get the help I needed and talk to the people that I can get the help I need from.
The state says that killing you is justice.
No, it's not justice. It's not justice. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And, the family of the victim, they do not want to see me die. So what right, killing me for the state, the victim's family don't want me to die. They are against the death penalty.
How do you persuade people in a state that seems to think you can't be tough on crime if you don't kill people? And I may be getting too far ahead, but this is Oklahoma. It's like Texas, that you don't get elected if you're not tough on crime, and they're going to say, you killed once, you killed twice, you don't deserve to live. How do you fight that?
That's not true. They have other inmates that's in the general population. I'm not a Vernon Stafford. They didn't put a steakhouse murderer. They didn't execute her. She's in general population. I killed 2 people's right. That's wrong. That's wrong. But you have to look at the case in itself. I did time for that case that I did before. I did the time. I served the time for that. I was in society for 7.5 years. I didn't kill before. I didn't hurt anyone before. You have to look at the case on a case-by-case basis. You got a person that's in the general population right now, Bernie Stafford, killed people at the steakhouse. You got Deputy Spinaga that was on death row. You got Patricia Jones that was on death row. You got LaFonda Faye Foster, had 5 death sentences and they were overturned. You have to look at the case by itself. You have to look at an individual case. My case was neither heinous nor atrocious nor cruel. So you can't do that. That's wrong in itself.
Do you have to be rich in the state to get a fair trial?
You have to have money. If you don't have money, if you're poor and black as myself, you're not going to get representation. You're not going to get a fair trial. They're going to do what they can, how they can, and they're going to try to take your life.
To me, looking at this, it seems like it doesn't matter what you do or what your attorneys do, that the state is bound and determined that there's only one way you can pay for your crime. You don't ever feel that this is a hopeless, lost cause?
I think they're trying to set an example by trying to execute me. But my case in itself is not a death penalty case. Even the judge at the time that I went to court, the judge and the district attorney's office, Sandra Spencer, told the judge at the time that I had a valid defense, a self-defense, and I had met my burden of proof. And then later on down the line, they want to execute me. They didn't think that way at the time, that they didn't want to execute me. They thought I had a valid defense, a self-defense, even the judge at the time. They didn't think it was going to go as far as it has went.
But they didn't allow any.
No, I'm aware, Clark.
Okay.
And I'll re-ask when I hear that.
Okay.
He was just saying the PA. Okay.
Yeah, I want you to talk more. Explain to her.
What I'm saying is, at the time when I went to trial, the district attorney's office did not allow Gloria Leather's violent history to come out. They wouldn't allow me and my attorney at the time, Bob Carpenter, to put that in front of the jury. They kept stating to the jury that it was just from my mouth alone, just from the defendant's mouth alone, and Bob Carpenter did not believe anything they were saying. Knowing that this individual they had in their possession at the time, her violent history, 11 priors, that she had killed a Sheila Marie Barker, 8779, that she had several batteries, assault and batteries, possession of firearms, and when she was in the Department of Correctional, that one of the district Department of Correctional people came and testified and took the stand on my behalf. Marianne Benton brought her records to court, and they kept continuously telling the jury that this person was timid and meek and never done anything in her life. But at the same time, they had in their possessions her penitentiary history, her violent history from the Tulsa Police Department, of her murder, murder conviction. They had all of that information.
Now talk about yours and Gloria's relationship.
Okay. Me and Gloria's relationship at the time, it was terminal. She had stabbed me one time. The police department here in Oklahoma City had records of this person stabbing me before. Had been called to my house on numerous occasions by me. So this person wasn't timid and meek.
But none of that came out in your trial.
None of this was gotten before the jury because the district attorney kept telling the jury not to believe what my attorney at the time was telling them, Bob Carpenter or myself, that it was just from the defendant's mouth alone. That's what Sandra Spencer said, knowing full well that she was lying about Gloria's violent history, that she had killed in 8779 Sheila Marie Barker, and that she had several other offenses, 11 priors, and that she did have problems in the penitentiary, a battery on an officer here.
People describe this as domestic violence, and that you did not go there with premeditated murder, that it was an argument that got out of control.
That's correct.
Tell me about what you remember about that day.
I went to the police department, village police department.
Ryan, Charlotte Richards,
When they're talking, I can't hear you. Okay, you good, guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, what do you remember about that day, Jean?
I arrived at the village police department. I was going in to file charges on her for assaulting me. She had already struck me in the face with a weapon. And I was getting ready to go in the village police department. I didn't make it there. We got into an argument right outside the village police department. And it was like, after then, I can't remember all that happened. It was like I was there physically, but not mentally.
But you were carrying a gun.
I didn't have the gun on me.
What would you take back, if you could?
All that happened that day. Her being here today with her family for the holidays, me being with mine so we can hug them and she can enjoy her grandchildren and be with her family. She have grandbabies now.
How tough has this been on your family?
It's been hard because there's no winners in this. Her family is suffering, my family is suffering, and they're a very close family.
You talk about the staff, and the staff says that you're a very good inmate. Why are you able to function in this environment when you could not outside? What is it about prison that lets you function?
It's structured, and I can get the help I need where I am. And this is where I need to be. I'm where I need to be. Out there, I didn't have the money to get the help.
Marion Stokes, in Ward Counselor's office, Marion Stokes.
Okay.
Out there in the free world, when I was out in society, I didn't have the funds, I didn't have the means that I needed to get the help I needed. My mom didn't finish school. She didn't go no further than 6th grade. So she didn't have the ability or the knowledge. And everything back then was like hush hush for us mental. First thing a mother thinks when you say you need to get your child some help. My child's gonna be taken from me. That's the mother's worst fear, is losing her child.
You had a tough childhood.
Yes.
Not a lot of money.
No.
How did you guys make ends meet? How did you get by?
Just struggling and having strength and faith.
Poor
Poor, black,
and mentally retarded.
correct,
The cards are stacked against you.
right. But we had love and we had faith. When nothing else, we didn't have nothing else. We had love and faith. And that's what held us together.
Do you want your family to be in McAllister?
No. That would be too hard, and that would be something selfish that I couldn't even ask them to do. It's hard just them, by me being right where I am, and they can't even hug me on visits. All my visits are non-contact when they live right down the street from me.
Governor Keating could step in and give you 30 days. I think he can do that twice. What can you say to convince him to do that?
That I want to live. I do want to live, and to look at my case. Look at my case in itself.
You have been blessed with many firm, strong, good friends.
Yes.
If you had had that kind of support system 12 years ago,
I wouldn't be where I am now.
and what prompted all this outpouring of support? What do people see in you? What do these people see in you that the parole board or that the state attorney general's office doesn't see or doesn't want to see? What do they see?
Well, they're only making decisions. Some want to take my life, and some might want to spare my life. These are individuals that had contact with me. That's looking at the person, looking at the situation, looking at the case, looking at everything that's put before them, and without making a decision. That's what they're looking at, instead of just someone just sitting there making a decision and don't even know me as an individual. They're looking at everything that happened to me in my life, my mental capacity. They're looking at all of that and taking that into consideration. And that's what's needed right now. That's what didn't happen 11 and a half years ago. because if my attorney could have got that before the jury or had that information, I wouldn't be right here on death row right now.
But do you see, Jean, that people cannot look past the fact that manslaughter, that 2 women are dead because of you? And that's something that's hard for many people to get past.
Right. Yeah, it's a tragedy. It's been a tragedy. I did my time on the one in 82. I did 4 years on that. I did the time for that. I was out in society. I didn't hurt anyone. This day was totally different. I was in fear of my life. This person had already told me and let me know that she had killed someone before. I was in fear of my life. I was in fear of my life with this person had already stabbed me before. I know she had already had a violent past, several assault and batteries, possession of a firearm, and I always carried a knife. I know this person, what she was capable of doing. I know she was capable of hurting me. She had already hurt me before.
Maintenance, please call 2991. Maintenance, please call 2991.
That's okay. Just pulling back so wide.
She's starting to
Huh?
starting to crackle.
A crackle on the mic. Do you think it's a batter? Figure out what else I need to ask.
The last question.
That's okay. Okay.
When you was on the outside, you had a different opinion, but when you coming inside and spend time with me, you feel different.
Let me wait till.
You're awfully noisy today.
Oh, that. You know what? Time I've got. So, I guess the question that I think most people who don't have the luxury that I have of seeing you and knowing you are going to look at the fact that 2 women are dead and wonder why you, that person who you were 12 years ago, should be allowed to live.
Well, I'm ashamed of what I done. I'm sorry that a life has been taken, and the family knows how sorry I am. And if I could change anything in those circumstances that day, I would bring her back. I would want her to be with her family as well as I am with my family, because they know I loved her and her family loved her as well, and my family loved her as well. So we're talking about 2 families that love each other. So it's only what the media and their perception of it and what everybody's trying to put in it. They don't want to see me die. The family do not want to see me executed.
How have you changed from the person? Okay. How have you changed from the person that you were 12 years ago?
I'm out of the darkness into the light. I changed my life, thinking. I'm in a structured environment. I'm where I need to be right now. I feel safe. If I need help, I can call the person I need to give me the help that I need. The staff members are there for me if I need them. They have no fear of me being in general population. So I'm where I need to be right now.
Tell me a little bit about your day in prison. What is a day like here for you? You get up, you have breakfast, you study. Take me through your day.
I used to get up about 4:30 in the morning and have an hour of meditation in the Bible, have my prayer time, get up and clean my room up and bathe. And there's 2 other death row inmates up there with me. So we usually get up and have our music in the mornings and spend time in the Word. Do things that's positive. That's how we mostly spend our day, read, watch TV, we do our laundry and our ironing. Do things to keep our minds preoccupied.
Okay.